Welcome everyone to another one of my videos. My name's Chris. In this video, I'm going to be going over my reviews for the movies I saw in this February. Saw 3 movies, so let's go ahead and start talking about them. The first movie I saw this month was the Lego Movie 2, the second part. The sequel to the Lego Movie and the 4th Lego Movie overall. Now, admittedly, I was not the biggest fan of the original Lego Movie. I definitely thought it was good. I didn't think it was as great as everyone else said. I thought it was a little bit too all over the place when it came to the story. Though I did think that last 30 minutes was great when the whole big twist gets revealed that it's actually kids playing with these Legos. That whole stuff was great. I did love the Lego Batman movie, mainly because Lego Batman was the best part of that original Lego movie. And the movie was just a great celebration of Batman overall. Never saw the Ninjago movie. Lego Movie 2 continues with that whole sort of craziness that comes from that original Lego movie and all these Lego movies overall. You get that same kind of crazy story. We follow Emmett and Lucy again. They're going on a whole new adventure. It's playing off the end of the original Lego movie where the little girl is now bringing her toys into the boys' sort of play set, and that whole thing creates this whole crazy new story. This is definitely a really fun sequel. I enjoyed it a lot. I actually enjoyed it more than the Lego movie, to be honest. Maybe it's because I know what to expect when it comes to the story and whatnot. But still, it's really fun overall. The humor is once again good. I think the humor is the thing I like most about these Lego movies. It's so like crazy, so fast, so snappy, and every line it's like a gag a minute. It's really fun, more like a gag a second with how quick the humor is. Really funny, these Lego movies, and once again, Lego Batman steals the show. And once again, this movie, no spoilers here, but it has that sort of feel-good message at the end that the original Lego movie had. That definitely helps this one also. And another great thing this movie has going for it is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is absolutely killer. The songs that you hear during the movie is great, and actually the songs during the credit scenes is great. I was like, man, these credit scenes are rocking, so I stayed all the way through. Big thing that threw me off about this one, and is I guess kind of a problem with the movie, is that the story, especially some reveals in the second half, I like sort of the twist that they had going, but there are some story elements that get introduced that's like, whoa, y'all taking this to a whole new level of crazy. And this is all like, what kind of universe is this? What exactly going on? Is this Toy Story? What's going on with this? So elements that come in, the stuff that's as crazy as say like time travel is kind of like, But eventually they do sort of tie it into the story decently, do get some decent character stuff going on. So it is kind of a problem just because it's like, but they still managed to make it work pretty well. So the Lego Movie 2 I definitely really enjoyed. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. In my opinion, I actually enjoyed it more than the original Lego Movie, but keep in mind I'm not the biggest fan of the original. But yeah, this definitely was a fun sequel. The next movie I saw was Happy Death Day 2. The original Happy Death Day came out a few years ago, and I was a really big fan of. That movie was a huge surprise of how much fun it was. You thought it was going to be a horror movie, but it was more than just a horror movie. It was a mystery film. It was sort of like a comedy. It was a great thriller. It was a really fun movie. And so with Happy Death Day 2, I'm like, okay, what are they going to do to sort of build off the first one? And this one reveals a whole lot more when it comes to the first one, because the first one didn't really explain the whole thing regarding the whole death time loop and exactly why are these things happening to this girl, to Tree, who was the protagonist in the first one. This movie reveals exactly what's going on, and you're either going to roll with it or not. Initially, I was kind of like, really? I'm not going to spoil it, but I was kind of like, oh man, this explanation for what's going on is like, I think maybe you guys should have just left it a mystery. But as things go along and sort of we get into sort of the meat of the story of Tree having to deal with this whole time loop again, it actually ends up being a decent, fun little experience. To me, in all honesty, the movie in some parts was so bad it was actually good, but it was still a fun movie because this one sort of kind of abandons the whole horror aspect of the first film. It really goes into being more of actually just kind of like a comedy. And it's actually really funny in some parts, and they have a whole lot of fun with the story. Like the first Happy Death Day, they make the most out of this sort of crazy story that they have going on. And in some parts, actually tell some really good sort of character drama when it comes to Tree and sort of a tough decision she has to make and some family drama she's going with. That stuff worked really well. I really enjoyed Tree as a character because you see her grow through this crazy experience, and it's a lot of fun. And the different ways that she dies are really funny. Like I said, they have a whole bunch of fun with this one. It is cool. At the same time, though, there are some points where it's all like, man, when it comes to filmmaking, this is just sort of amateur hour right here. You know, it's just not great in some parts. Like I said, there were parts where the movie was really bad, but a whole lot of parts where it was really fun. But overall, I did enjoy Happy Death Day 2. Can I call it a great movie or a good movie? I don't know about that. It's definitely not as good as the first one, but I still enjoyed it enough. But just know what you're getting into. I would say it is a 6 out of 10, maybe 6.5, but definitely in that range. Not great, not bad, though bad in some parts, but still an enjoyable time. If you enjoyed the first film, you should have an alright time with this one. What almost ruined this movie for me, though, while I was walking out, was the mid-credit scene. The mid-credit scene in this one was just ridiculous. You might as well have had Nick Fury come out with the Avengers. It was that, like, what are you guys doing? It looked like the same mid-credit scene that was in Independence Day Resurgence and The Predator from last year. Two horrible movies. This one just did not need that mid-credit scene at all. If you want to do a threequel, a third movie, go ahead. But this mid-credit scene, it just was all like, guys, what kind of movie y'all think you're doing here? So that mid-credit scene almost ruined the movie for me. Almost. It was that bad. Now, the last movie I saw, and the most recent movie I just saw, is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Now, these How to Train Your Dragon movies, the first two, some of the best non-Disney animated movies to come out within the last, like, 10 years. These are just, those first two have just been great movies. Beautifully animated, beautiful storytelling, beautiful character development, beautiful emotion. The movies were just so damn good. The first one was such a surprise, and the second one was even better. In my opinion, that should have beat Big Hero 6 for Best Animated Movie at the Oscars that year. Now here we have How to Train Your Dragon 3, and it does nothing to ruin the quality when it comes to the series. Once again, this is another great sequel that keeps up the quality of the previous films. We see the whole thing of Toothless. Now he's found a girl Night Fury, a Light Fury. We see how that develops and how it affects his relationship with Hiccup. And like I said, this is really quality storytelling and filmmaking going throughout it. When it comes to the animation, the bond between Hiccup and Toothless, how you've seen it evolve throughout these films, their friendship, great stuff to watch, and I absolutely loved seeing the relationship and sort of the emotion in this movie. What doesn't work, and the thing that's been the worst part about these How to Train Your Dragon movies 1, 2, and 3, is in my opinion the humor when it comes to the side characters. The side characters, Hiccup's friends, really kind of annoying in my opinion. That ragtag group of teenagers that he's always hanging with that are just as dumb as a rock. I think the big problem I have with that is that the characters, they have a joke that's established at the beginning of the movie, and then they just keep repeating that joke over and over and over again. It's like, okay, I get it. This guy wants a beard. Okay, this guy wants Hiccup's mom. Okay, this girl is just really annoying as fuck. I know, after a while, I was just like, oh, I'm just tired of these characters. I wish they just go away. Because everything else that's working in this movie is good. And once again, it is really funny, especially that scene we see in the trailer where Toothless is trying to go after the Light Fury with doing this whole crazy stuff. That scene is really great. And I just love Toothless. He's just such a great animated character. So much fun to watch. I really enjoy him. And without spoiling things, this movie is being marketed as the end of the How to Train Your Dragon series. And like I said, no spoilers here, but sort of the emotional punch at the end, the way this movie ends, to me is almost on par with Toy Story 3 in terms of just being that perfect close to your third chapter. It is so damn good and will just leave you going, wow, this is really great what DreamWorks did with these How to Train Your Dragon movies. And it's a great thing they didn't rush out each sequel. They took their time to make sure they're like, okay, we don't want to fuck this up. We're going to make great sequels right here. And they definitely did that with this one. Now, in my opinion, it's not as good as the second movie. The second movie has been the best of the series so far. This one is definitely a great movie also. But I don't want to give it the same score that I would give the second movie, a 9 out of 10. So I'm just going to go a notch below. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. But this is still a great movie and just a great conclusion to this series. It's so damn good. It'll be really surprising to see if any other animated movie can top it this year. Because the major contender is going to be Toy Story 4 and Frozen 2. And if those movies can top this one, then holy shit, this is going to be the ultimate year for animated films. So that's it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed these reviews. And thank you for watching.